In just one day, these halls of MagicCon Vegas will be absolutely packed with many Magic the Gathering players from all walks of life. Commander players, competitive grinders, cosplayers, content creators, and more will all gather together in a celebration of the greatest game ever made. Alongside all of this is a unique experience that only a select few of Magic the Gathering players even have the opportunity to ever attend. The Magic the Gathering Pro Tour, where the greatest Magic the Gathering players of all time face off against one another to determine who is the best, the Pro Tour champion. And it all takes place here. This time tomorrow, every game, every play, every spell will be broadcast to thousands of fans across the world. Veteran pro players with decades of experience will face off against a brand new generation of competitors, including our very own head writer, Jesse Robkin. Can her dedication and skill overcome her lack of Pro Tour experience? Come with me as we explore the Pro Tour and Jesse's own tumultuous journey that brought her here.
My name is Jesse Robkin. I am the head writer of Tolarian Community College and recently a professional Magic the Gathering player.
I think Jesse's an incredible Magic player.
A ruthless killer.
Really great mind for the game.
Just a stone cold killer.
Jesse is preparing for the Pro Tour with Team Channel Fireball, the most storied testing team in the history of professional Magic. Team CFB has spent the past few days in a testing house, where they've worked together to tune their decks and learn the draft environment.
We're in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, Nevada, baby!
It's the Wednesday before Pro Tour Final Fantasy, which starts on Friday.
We are here to hang out, have the time of our lives with the people who mean the most to us, and watch me win the Pro Tour. I want to win the Pro Tour. Of course I want to win the Pro Tour. It would be sick as hell. The trophy would look really good next to my other trophy.
Pro Tour? What is the Pro Tour?
The Pro Tour is the culmination of the best Magic players in the world that qualify either from previous experiences or previous finishes at Pro Tours or the regional championships.
The prize pool is $500,000, which is huge. First place gets $50,000. And of course, you get lots of re-qualifications for other events as well. But it's also immortalizing your name. If you're a Pro Tour champion, that's something you can take with you for the rest of your life. It means something to people who don't even play Magic the Gathering. They understand if you're a champion of a Pro Tour, that sounds pretty awesome, and it is pretty awesome.
For Jessie specifically, the record she's aiming for is 10 wins, which will qualify her for the next Pro Tour in Atlanta. If she fails to reach that 10-6 record, her brief Pro Tour journey will come to an end.
Even if I qualify for Atlanta, which is the next Pro Tour, even if I win the whole thing, the World Championship in Bellevue in December will be my last event. I don't intend to play another Pro Tour after this one.
Jessie might not know what she wants her future in professional Magic to look like, but if she wants to keep playing, it'll start with a 10-6 record this weekend.
The way the Pro Tour works is there's 2 days and then a third day, which is just the top 8. To make day 2, I need to win 4 of my matches at least, which is a lot easier to say out loud than to actually do. Winning 4 matches at the Pro Tour, that is really, really hard, okay?
It's really, really challenging.
I mean, it's the highest level of competitive Magic there is.
It's really hard. I don't know.
This is gonna be the hardest Magic I've ever played in my life.
But Jessie is no stranger to high stakes in Magic. Last March, with her beloved Modern deck Grinding Breach combo likely to be banned at the end of the month, Jessie took a Hail Mary shot at the US Regional Championship in Charlotte in the hopes of qualifying for this, the Final Fantasy Pro Tour in Las Vegas.
At this point, I was largely retired from competitive Magic. I had decided I had other things I wanted to think about. I had other interests to pursue. I was ready to set that chapter of my life behind me. And then when I realized that this was my last chance to play Breach, I was like, okay, I probably have one more regional championship in me. And I flew to Charlotte without an invite to the regional championship. And there are these last chance qualifiers, which are 5-round single elimination tournaments. If you go 5-0, you qualify for the regional championship the next day. So this was a way to play in the regional championship without playing RCQs ahead of time. And then all of a sudden I was playing the deck in the LCQ and I played some like close, tight, hard games. I was paired against a teammate, Tristan Ryle-LaRue, in the finals of that LCQ. In the breach mirror, I beat him, and all of a sudden I was like, oh, I just 5-0'd my first LCQ bullet. Let's go. Like this trip was a success already. The next day I won my first match. It was also a breach mirror. Played a few more matches, was like winning.
She LCQ'd in to go 5-0 yesterday.
Love that.
So a good old 10-0, no problem, easy mode.
Before I realized it, I was 6-0. I was like, wait, I probably could keep winning. And I tried not to let that thought really like stick around at the forefront of my mind, but it was definitely hanging out at the back of my mind as I finished the first day. I'd like go to the bathroom between rounds, I'd like splash water in my face, stare myself in the eyes in the mirror and be like, is this gonna be the last game you play with Breach? No. So all of a sudden I was in the top 8 of a regional championship, which by the way, I had never come even close to that before. I hadn't qualified for the Pro Tour. I had never made the top 64, the top 32. When the first time I did hit those milestones, I like hurdled over them and landed in the top 8, I would have been like satisfied with that outcome. But I also wanted to win. I continued to stay as like locked in as I possibly could. The finals of the RC was against Corey Burkhart.
I told her before the match, I'm rooting for you. You know, if I'm sitting at home watching, I'm like, damn, I hope she kicks my ass. Like, I really hope she beats me.
You know, when you create the deck, you play it nonstop, you're always thinking about it. You know, it takes that kind of commitment to do well at a tournament like this. So if that's the last ride of that card, of that deck, to see her win that event was one of the most special things I've seen at any Magic tournament.
Before I even knew it, I was the regional champion.
Day 1 of the Pro Tour begins with a 3-round draft. Players are assigned to an 8-person draft pod and are tasked with putting together a deck using the cards that they pull from the packs they're passed around the table. They then battle against the other players in their pod in a 3-round mini bracket.
Draft, shuffle, and pass 4 cards to your left.
The draft format in Vegas is Final Fantasy, the first standard legal Universes Beyond set. Final Fantasy is a well-balanced format with a lot of flexibility for how you build your deck. The best archetypes in the format are Simic Town Ramp, Grixis spells, and various flavors of white artifact aggro.
I showed my draft deck to the various pros on my team. Basically, everyone had no notes. There was like one card maybe they would swap, but like Reed said he would change no cards. I feel it's like a 7, I would say. I think it'll be all right. My deck has one glaring weakness, but it's otherwise pretty good, I think. It's like Grixis, no removal. I have like an Ice Magic and a Fire Magic and a Dream. But I have 5 Black Mage's Rods, so I'm just gonna try to kill them really quickly. My first draft match, nothing really happened. I kept a 2-lander with 2 swamps and then didn't draw a 3rd land, and then kept a 6-lander on 6 cards and drew lands in game 2. So I left round 1 being like, okay, I lost my first match of the Pro Tour, but I didn't make any decisions. So I felt honestly pretty at peace about it. The second match was fun. It was against a friend who I'd never actually met in person before, but we've like tested for various like regional championships before. I've like beat him and he's a good player. And so I was like, 1-1 feeling good. Round 3, I don't really remember what happened in round 3, but I didn't win. I'll tell you that. My mental state was honestly pretty good. So I felt like I had drafted a good deck. I got kind of unlucky. I made a mistake, but it was a mistake that I was always going to make in that spot because of the circumstances around me. So, it was a learning moment. I was happy I didn't 0-3.
After the 3 rounds of draft, the constructed rounds begin. Each player has chosen and tuned the standard deck that they believe gives them the best chance of winning.
So I believe we have 16 players on our team, and 12 of us decided to go with Is It Prowess, which that's kind of like the deck to beat. It's everyone expected that was going to be a really, really effective strategy. Jesse is playing Is It Prowess.
Is It Prowess is an aggressive spells deck built around the equipment card Corey Steel Cutter, which at the time was the best card in Standard and on its way to a ban. Corey Steel Cutter is a potent token generator that rewards you for casting 2 spells in a turn. The rest of the deck is built to complement the powerful equipment, with plenty of card draw, interaction, and additional prowess threats.
The deck is a very high variance thing. Like the thing it's doing is incredibly powerful. And also it's a deck that's extremely susceptible to both Mana Screw and Mana Flood. In a lot of ways, the constructed matches at least will be in some ways out of my hands. If I draw cards that allow me to win the game, then I will do everything I can to try to make that happen. And if I don't, it be like that sometimes, baby. Going into constructed, I'm feeling like whichever way the wind blows is where the wind blows. That's part of playing is you're signing up for winning 55% of your matches on average and, whatever. I get paired against a friend who's also on Is It. The mirror match is not what you're excited to play, right? 50-50 shot, maybe a little better if you built your deck better. I won the first game, and then I think I also won, maybe we went to 3. I think we might have gone to 3 games, but walking out of that match with a win, I'm 2-2. I've won my first match of constructed. The 2 players who I knew, I beat. And so I felt like, okay, I'm in a good spot to start going on a run. And I did. I won the next 2 matches after that. Also mirror matches. I was suddenly 3-0 in the mirror. 4-2, 3-0 in the mirror. I was feeling like, okay, this could be a good tournament for me, That's the type of early result you want to see that tells you that it might be your weekend if you continue to make good choices, if the chips continue to fall. And then in round 7, I played the mirror again, and this time I lost to Vivi. I think I might have made a mistake or 2. It's tough to know. Losing that match, I was like, okay, this brings me back down. I now can't really lose again if I want to top 8. And I can only lose 3 more times and still qualify for the Pro Tour. And so going into the final round of the day, I was paired against Willie Edel, who's a really good player. And I lose game 1. He combos off Omniscient style. And I think, okay, I'm going to finish 4-4. At least I qualified for day 2, right? I qualified for day 2 once I was 4-2. I was like, man, this is not how how I wanted it to go, but at least, it's not the worst result. But I'm like, I'm going to keep trying at least, So, and then I start drawing more Corey Steel Cutters, and he's attacking me for 6 in the air. And I start to think, oh, I might actually win this game. 3 Corey Steel Cutters, a well-timed bounce spell, and a disdainful stroke on a Overlord of the Mistmoors. And all of a sudden I've won game 2. And I can tell he's surprised that he lost this game. That's the kind of turn in a match that I'm always looking for, when it's a couple things go right in a row in a way that my opponent wasn't expecting, and it puts them on the back foot. I can think of multiple matches in the history of my career where that type of thing happened. And I sort of sit up forward in my chair a little bit, and find myself suddenly ahead. And then game 3, I just crush it. Winning that match, 5-3, I have a winning record in day 1 of my first Pro Tour, and I'm feeling fantastic. I go to dinner with friends, and I'm just having a really great night. So that's how I was feeling in day 1.
The structure of day 2 is identical to day 1. 3 rounds of Final Fantasy Pod Draft and 5 rounds of Standard. Jesse went 5-3 in day 1, which means an identical record in day 2 would give her that coveted 10-6 record and re-qualify her for the Pro Tour. Her day 2 draft pod is harder though, as it includes no other than her CFB teammate Gabriel Nassif, one of the greatest Magic the Gathering players of all time.
My name's Gabriel Nassif, and I'm a Magic streamer and pro player, I guess.
Gabriel Nassif is a Hall of Famer.
Maybe top 3 best players of all time.
He is a very methodical player.
He's one of the best Magic players of all time, for sure.
He arranged the mana in the shape of the one spell that he had to draw. Form of Oh my
Cruel
goodness.
Ultimatum.
I noticed I was going to be in Gab's pod the night before because I could see the standings. I was definitely like, okay, this is going to be a challenge. But also, I was 3-0 in the previous day in matches against players whose names I recognized. And so I was like, I'm feeling good. Obviously, I would rather play against a worse player than a good player. But there's no one I would not want to play against. I'm up for the challenge,
Jesse drafts a somewhat greedy 5-color deck. It's full of bombs, but has a shaky mana base. Her greed pays off for her in round 9, as she handily defeats Sho Kamizaki's Orzhov deck. Nassif also wins his round, which means if they both win again next round, they'll meet in the draft pod finals. If they both lose, they're also likely to meet. If one wins and one loses, they'll dodge each other entirely. Unfortunately, Jesse loses a close match against Zen Miyagi Thorn's Dimir Control deck. When she gets back to the Players' Lounge, she learns Nassif lost his round as well.
If I lose this match against Nassif, I will be firmly locked out of top 8, and I'll have to 4-1 construct it again in order to re-qualify for the Pro Tour. That being said, I went 1-2 in draft and 4-1 in constructed in day one. If I go 1-2 in draft here, there's no reason I can't 4-1 constructed in day two. So I'll just do it again. He won the die roll. He had a really strong start in game one. I never really felt like I could have won in game one. And in game two, I start ahead, and then he has this huge explosive turn in the mid game, forcing me to Ultima away my own ice flan. And it all sort of falls apart from there. I asked him after the match, do you think I made a mistake anywhere? And he said he didn't think so. We talked through the game. I don't even necessarily feel like I got outskilled. I mean, he is obviously a better player than me by quite a lot, but like, it wasn't like his skill was what was the difference maker. I think his deck was better than mine, which that's a skill thing, right? But like, in terms of like, once we have the decks, we're sitting down, his deck beat mine.
At 6-5 after the day two draft, Jesse finds herself with her back against the wall. She can only lose one more time if she hopes to requalify, but she has 5 full rounds of high-level Magic left to play. Yes, she went 4-1 in the standard rounds the day before, but can she do it again? It's hard enough to go 4-1 in the Pro Tour once, but twice?
So I just took my 6th loss. I played the mirror, won game 1 on the draw, and then lost both the next matches, both the next games. My mental's pretty frayed right now, I would say. Losing 3 in a row hurts. Competitive Magic is a series of choices you make, micro decisions, macro decisions. But at the end of the day, like a tournament, you're making hundreds of decisions over the course of the day, and you have to make as many of them right in a row as you can. And if you do that, and if you have reasonable luck, not even good luck, you just make right decisions and reasonable luck, you'll win. But the moment you make a wrong decision, it sort of knocks you off that like path, and then your possible right choices you can make from there go down. And that's sort of what staying focused, staying present, staying locked in a tournament entails. It entails continuing to make the right choice. Make a right choice and then forget about it. Make another right choice and forget about it. You got to keep moving forward. And so here I am, 6-6. If I lose again, I do not qualify for the next Pro Tour. I don't even know if I want to play in the next Pro Tour. I lean that I don't, but I also don't want to be pushed off the Pro Tour. I want to choose to step off the Pro Tour if I'm going to do that. And so I have a choice. I can try to win my next 4 matches of Constructed, play this broken deck that's somewhat inconsistent as well as I can for 4 matches, and try to 10-6, re-qualify so I can either play again if I want to or go out on my own terms, or I can give up now and say, fuck it. It's, I failed, but I don't like failing. I mean, maybe I will, right? Sometimes it's out of my control, but I don't intend to fail. I'm not going to choose to fail. So, 10-6, here we come.
Jesse has experienced her fair share of failure in competitive Magic. Before she won RC Charlotte, she had played in 5 previous regional championships, but had failed to achieve a Pro Tour qualifying record in any of them. In February of 2024, she also attempted to LCQ into a 6th regional championship in Denver, just as she one day would to qualify for the Charlotte RC she'd win a year later. Back in Denver, though, she had no idea that she'd be holding a regional championship trophy in a little over a year's time. She just wanted to play the RC in Denver. To do so, she'd need to win an LCQ.
A year ago, I was in Denver, and I attempted to LCQ into the Denver Regional Championship. Do not do this lightly.
Getting on an airplane to fly to an event that you're not qualified for in order to play the LCQs, that's pretty risky.
I would not say it's financially responsible. I've never had to make that decision.
But if you're somebody that's incredibly skilled at Magic, like Jesse is, hey, go for it.
I went 0-1 in my first bullet, which is the second best record you can get in an LCQ because it means you can start again immediately. And then I went 4-1 in my next one. I lost in the finals, really disheartening. And then I went 4-1 in the next one and lost. So I lost in the finals again. And my opponent in the second LCQ finals had a Sisyphus tattoo, which felt a bit on the nose to me. Well, it was on his arm, but it felt on the nose. I was pretty discouraged. I said afterwards, I was like, I think I'm done. I think I don't want to do this anymore. I live my life knowing that I would rather fail than not try. But that's because I know how scary it is to try and how scary it is to fail. I cannot stand the idea of dying knowing I didn't try to do something I wanted to do. If there's a thing I want, I have to try to get it. I cannot give up. It's what what is the point? What am I doing then? If I give up, it's the same thing as failing, except I didn't even give myself a shot to have it.
All of Jesse's professional Magic experience, Charlotte, Denver, and the long days spent crafting and testing decks have led to this moment. With no losses left to give, Jesse must win all 4 of her remaining constructed matches in order to qualify for the next Pro Tour. Can she do it?
I lose immediately. I'm playing against Demir, and I make a terrible mistake. Demir is supposed to be a good matchup, but I forget that Soulstone Sanctuary is a ninja. It's got, my opponent had a Kaito emblem, had 2 Kaito emblems in play, and I attack my 3/3 into their Soulstone Sanctuary, and they block, and it dies. And I might have won that game, honestly, if I had not done that. It would have been a close game still, but I might have won. I debated dropping right then. If I never play another Pro Tour, these are the last 3 matches of Pro Magic I'll ever get to play, And so I decided to keep playing anyway. Yeah, I decided to keep playing, and I win the next round. I'm 7-7. All of a sudden, it's like, if I win either of the next 2, then I at least go 50%. And then I don't win either of the next 2. But that's life, baby. One of my big takeaways from this weekend was I spent a lot of time thinking, well, if I re-qualify, am I going to want to play again? If I do this, do I play again? Instead of just playing, the only thing that was guaranteed was that I had 1 more match to play. When I won Charlotte, I wasn't thinking, man, do I even want to play a PT? I mean, I kind of was, but I wasn't really thinking about that. I was thinking, I want to win Charlotte, And I was like, I'll make the decision later about whether or not I play the PT. Of course, I decided to play it. And then this whole time, I spent the entire weekend being like, will this be the last time I do this? Instead of just being like, I'm going to play the fucking PT and then decide when I'm chilling in my apartment if I do it again. And I think that was maybe if I could pick one mistake I made this entire weekend. The number one mistake I made was thinking about the next PT at all. Instead of just thinking about the matches I had to play, being really, really present, really focused, and just enjoying myself. I sat in my seat, the seat where I played that final match, for quite a while, long enough for my friend Dom Harvey to show up and chat for a while. I take out all the cards I borrowed, sort them into the piles of who lent them to me. I scroll on my phone a while and reply to some texts I'd been ignoring. And I just let it slip away. By the time I stood up, I felt okay. And if it's the end of my Pro Tour career, if it's the end of all of this, that's okay. I had an amazing time. This was amazing. This was I spent my 20s playing a card game for a living. I feel like I'm so lucky that I ever got to do this. That my life is the way that it is right now. My life is really wonderful. It really is. And it's in large part because of this game and the people it's introduced me to. Was this weekend a failure? No. I mean, it was really fun. It taught me a lot. And it's an experience I'll remember forever.
I think we will see Jesse in future tournaments. You can't stay away. It's the best game.
No one quits forever, okay? I'm just saying.
I don't know. Maybe. Or did I text you I'm going to get a Mr. Beast burger? I texted that to a couple people, but
Did you get the Mr. Beast burger?
no, dude, it was out.
What?